Nancy's oldest son. How about for my mom? Just a... It's really overwhelming to watch that. I remember those glasses. That's Geneva Convention outlawed those glasses. You might be, my mother's obviously surprised to see me here speaking. Many of you may be disappointed to see me here speaking, because I know there was some erroneous press reports that my brother was going to be here tonight, and he's not, so I'm sorry. But I did talk to him. He said, actually, I talked to him today, and those of you who know, he's the creator or co-creator of this TV show Glee that's very popular. But he said, when I told him, there was this thing in the Boston Herald saying that you were coming to this, there's like some event. And he said, look, it's crazy. He said, I make this TV show, and Hadassah does all this incredible stuff, and that's what they're talking about in the paper. So he's right, the world's a crazy place, but I still thought it was kind of cool that they mentioned it. But seriously, the one thing that me and my brother and my sister, and I'm here speaking really on their behalf as well, share is the good fortune of having great genes, which comes from having just such terrific parents and grandparents. And it's why what is going on tonight is so important to us. I mean, we're among family here with Hadassah. But genes aren't everything. And what your parents teach you is almost as important, maybe more important. So I wanted to talk to you about a lesson that my mother taught me. She didn't say these words to me. I learned it from watching her. And what I learned was this. It's that each one of us, each one of you, has the power to change the world. It's true. Many of us, I think, we tend to think of people who could change the world as some mythical people from the past who aren't around anymore. But my mother has taught me that each of us has the power to do it. And I know this because she's done it. And I know this because all of you can too. As you saw, my mom started her career as a nurse. At the age of 24, she had her first kid, that's me, right? 23, 18. I'm 18 myself, so but as over the next several years, as our family grew to having 3 of us, my brother and my sister Amy, who's down here, my mother started to, as you could see, want to be involved in things. And one of the things that I remember that was the first thing that she was doing was working with helping Jews who were living in the Soviet Union leave the Soviet Union and get to freedom here, and I guess in Israel as well. It was really humbling to hear her talk about it, and I was only about 10 or 11 at the time. Because here we were living in Newton, Massachusetts. It's kind of a nice town. And you're hearing about these people that are just like us, but they live in a place where they have to hide the fact that they're Jewish, and they don't have the freedom that the rest of us enjoy. And my mom was actually doing something to help with that, and to fix that, and to give these people a better life. She also, around that same time, started working, or really restarted working with Hadassah. And it's always been part of her life, no question about it. But as she got back into it at that time, what was meaningful for her was the opportunity to talk to people, to motivate them about what the mission of Hadassah was, to get them involved, to be part of something that was bigger than themselves. And so in small ways, and also in big ways, as part of that early time at Hadassah, she was changing people's lives, and through them, changing the world. When she became the national president of Hadassah, this alumna of the Boston chapter, she showed how much one person who is motivated and who wants to motivate other people can do. Now, there were a few challenges along the way in your term, I think. I heard some things. I read some things. I Googled. There was just one of the worst financial crises in the history of the world. that happened on your watch. No cause and effect, but it happened on your watch. Hadassah suffered from the costly ravages of the bad acts of some very bad people. But you know, I think that it was a stroke of great luck for Hadassah that it had my mother at the helm of the ship in those rough seas. So you guys agree, right? Yeah. Every time I go to an Hadassah event, I meet people, and tonight is no exception, who tell me, I love your mother. What you were talking about, that's exactly the thing that I hear everywhere I go. Your mother has changed my life. Your mother has motivated me to do something I never thought I could do, you know, or wasn't even sure that I should do. Your mother did that for me. And I think that's such a gift to give to people. You know, it is such a gift, and it's such a gift that you have to be able to do that. And I think that is a true legacy that you leave this organization. Now, I don't think it's easy, even though I think you make it look like it's easy. But it happens because you look at the world, and you see it as it is, and you say, I want to make it as it should be. You want to make it, as I think you said, a better and more healthier place. And you do it. And I can tell you that outlook that you have it motivates me in what I do, my job with Best Doctors. I know with my brother, with what he does in Hollywood. I know with what my sister does in the healthcare industry. We're all motivated by that lesson that you've taught us. And so we owe you so much because of that. So my mother grew up in a family that changed its last name from Kaczynski to Kozin in order to avoid the stain of bigotry that existed against Jews in America at that time. As an adult, she saw the oppression, the true oppression of Jews in the Soviet Union, and she did something about it to bring those people to freedom. Today, she sees people in Israel living under the threat of terrorism and war. And she has led the remarkable growth of a hospital that treats Palestinians and Israelis alike. She's working to make peace out of the horrors of war. She sees a world in which millions of women suffer with breast cancer. And she led the effort to light the walls of the old city of Jerusalem pink for the breast cancer walk, which raised so much money to help cure that terrible disease. And so if a person is measured by their accomplishments, my mother is worthy of great praise. But if we're to measure people by the influence that they've had on others, the people they've motivated to do things to change the world and to make it a better place, my mother is a person of real significance. So thank you, Mom, for teaching me this valuable lesson. For everybody else, if you can do things to motivate other people, you too can change the world like she has. Congratulations, Mom, on everything you've done and all that you still will do. You're in the middle of the road. You're nowhere near the end. I love you, and thank you very much.